I'm Karen O'Malley. I'm one of the children's librarians at the Lake Hiawatha Branch Library. And all of our team volunteers are very creative. They have a lot of great ideas. And I took that and asked them if they had any ideas on doing something virtually at home, so they can be volunteering at home using their talents and putting something together and as a collaborative effort. So the idea for this project that I asked the teens to volunteer for was to create a story walk where we would take their story and put it up so people could come and walk in the library and read one page at a time. And that's what we have in our meeting room, you know, here in the library.
My name is SIDDHI, and I'm in 10th grade, and I go to Parsippany Hills High School. And in the story walk, I was the author of the story. I really love writing, and it's one of the things I like to do in my spare time. I'm also big on hands-on STEAM, and I love my science and math classes as well. And I love digital art, which is also something I like to do. And I'm a big movie buff, so I like to watch a lot of movies with my family. So the way I came up with my story is I thought back to who's going to read the story, which were obviously younger children. And I thought of when I was younger, what I would find interesting. And so that's where the aspect of the book of a talking toy came into play. And along with that, I wanted to make sure like the kids would learn something. So the story has like an overlining message of problem solving and cooperation, which I think is really important.
In this project, I was in charge of illustrating the backgrounds for half of the pages. So first we started off with we had just the story written out in paragraph form, and then we took the words and split them up into individual pages and put them at the top. Sometimes we put the words at the bottom, just to create variation. And then after that, Anshika was in charge of drawing the main characters, so she did that, and then she sent us the file. We printed out the pages, and then I was in charge of doing the backgrounds for the pages without the robbers in them. So I was doing the Christmas trees and the presents and all of those different items. So I was doing that, and then once we were done, we were mainly communicating through email. So we would send the files back and forth and ask how we're doing, and we would compare how our progress is going. And overall, it was a very helpful, cooperative environment. And I really liked working with everybody.
So I designed the two main characters, Christopher and Gracie, in this book. And also the robot, which is, it's only in a few pages, but I did that as well. So I was supposed to first draw the characters and design the page, and then they were supposed to come in and fill in the background. We talked about what was going to go in. I told them, a Christmas tree would go well. Then someone said, oh, on this page, there would be presents that were open. So we discussed before we went into doing it, and it was actually pretty easy working with them.
I was the second one to do the illustration. The first person who did the illustration did it on a computer software, and it had all these nice lines, everything. So I had to match that same level. It was basically a process that I went through. I first drew the robbers on a piece of paper, the paper that we printed out on the story paper that we printed out. So I drew the robbers on that paper, and once I drew those robbers, I didn't color it, I scanned it, and then I put it on a computer. And then I used a computer software on my drawing tablet, and I basically colored them in there, and I did the outlines and everything, and then I printed it out and then sent it, and then we basically combined everyone's illustrations. I mean, I did this to get back to my community, and also I like drawing and coloring, so it was really a good opportunity for me to choose.
Well, I think it's great for families with young children to come in and see the story walk, and to walk and take time to read each page together. And the story walk that these teens created is interactive. So on some of the pages, SIDDHI, the author, asked the children to clap 4 times, or You know, so as they're reading the story, they're doing some actions. And I think it's really great for the teens to give back to the community.